Hi, friends. So, Dr. Sweta here, life and soul coach and story weaver for people who care too much. And it's Halloween week, one of my favorite holidays. And I got my little butterfly costume on, which I love so dearly because of what a butterfly symbolizes. It symbolizes transformation. And that's what I'm all about. I just did a 3-part blog series on career changes and identity shifts, and it seems to really resonate with a lot of people because I think a lot of us are going through these major changes in our lives that are internal and they're subtle, and it looks like career changes, retirements, moving, this inner pull towards something. And a lot of us are going through it, but there's not a lot of us that are actually naming what's going on. And in the old way of being, the old paradigm, it looks like not having it together, being lost. And that could be further from the truth, because what's really happening is that there's a soul initiation going on. There is a call for you to come truer and deeper into the truth of who you are. Some of you may have heard of the hero's journey, coined by the mythologist Joseph Campbell. And it's this great call of going through kind of this battle, whether it's internal or external, and coming through it and bringing those gifts and kind of bringing back and sharing with the world. And I kind of want to shed some light on it because the blog series that I did happened to align with the holiday of Navratri, the Hindu festival of the goddesses. And I really feel there's a new journey that is coming forth, and it's the heroine's journey. And it's similar to the hero's journey in that we're being called to go into those painful experiences in our life and to finally integrate those experiences that have caused us to suppress who we are or to repress who we are or to fit in or to mold ourselves into belonging, to be worthy of being in our families and being in our society. And our souls are saying, like, no more. I am not willing to sacrifice who I am. I know that there's another way to do this. I don't know what it is, but it's calling me forth. And in my blog, I talked about how these circumstantial changes that are happening, career changes or identity shifts, empty nest syndrome, or becoming a new mom, they're not just, there's so much deeper. It is this call of this dark, this dark night of the soul, or these soul initiations, where we're being asked to face the parts of our lives and the loss in our life that was heartbreaking. And because I work with people who quote unquote care too much, the loss that we feel is so deep because our hearts are so big. And I often find that people that are the biggest lights in the world are put in the most darkest circumstances, deep pain and deep loss early on in life. Parents that were not emotionally available because they were sick, or they had emotional issues, or they were just absent because they were working so much, or death. There's just so many different experiences, deeply painful experiences that a lot of people have gone through, and you might be one of these people, and you feel like you're alone in it, and you've created some coping mechanisms that involve either hiding yourself or puffing yourself up. So I can't tell you how many people I know that are so well accomplished in this world, New York Times bestsellers, millionaires, that when I've gotten to know them on a deeper level, because they open their heart to me, there's so much feeling of inadequacy and not enoughness inside that it's shocking. Because on the outside, these people look like they have it totally together, and they're wonderful people. Some people, they wear this inadequacy and not enoughness on their sleeves, and that's part of their identity. And again, they have so much their beings they're so beautiful, and they can't see it for themselves because these pains and these wounds and these losses that we've had, if they've not been dealt with, if they've not been integrated, they really they filter the way we see the world. If we're showing up in the world with this sense of I am wounded, I have this dark stain on my life, and I need to compensate, then we approach life in this way that's not actually true, our true self. It's coming from this place of ego. It's coming from this place of soul loss. It's coming from this place of being the wounded child. I mean, whatever word resonates with you. The point is that you are being called to bring these places into wholeness, to know your inherent worth in the world. And I know that's not easy, because if you've gone through a lot of loss, you know, the coping strategies that you've created have probably kept you really isolated and have made you be really efficient to be able to accomplish and do a lot. But receiving and asking for help is one of the most vulnerable things that you can ever do. And trust me, I know this. For the longest time, it was so hard for me to ask for help. And I believe that the reason why it's so hard to ask for help was because at one point in our lives, there was deep disappointment, where we were needing help. We were hurting so deeply, and there was nobody there to help us. And that, when that belief is hanging out in our subconscious mind, that I got to do this by myself and I got to do it alone because that's how you've survived and that's how you've made it so far in your life, the idea of asking or receiving help is it feels like death. It literally feels like death, and it is death. It's death of the ego. It's death of the little child. It's death of the self-sufficient person that helped you survive and bring you to where you are today in your life. But I believe your soul is saying, I'm done being a survivor. I want to thrive. I want to live in a world where I don't have to do everything by myself. I want to go from accomplished to fulfilled. In my second blog about Lakshmi, which is the goddess of abundance, this is what I talk about: to aim for fulfillment and not just accomplishment. And that comes from abundance. And the abundance that I'm talking about is not just about money and having things and material things, because likely you've accomplished that already. And maybe you still feel that hole in your heart even from accomplishing those things. That certainly was my case. The abundance is actually about possibility, about creating a universe, creating a world for yourself where you can thrive and you can have joy for yourself and your family, and life doesn't need to be a struggle and it doesn't need to be hard anymore. And I want to help you create that, co-create that, because I believe that we can't do it alone. Or yes, we could do it alone, but it won't be what we really want. We are asking for the heroine's journey, not the hero's journey. And the difference between the heroine's journey and the hero's journey is the hero comes out alone and they're this lone warrior. And the heroine's journey is when we walk each other home. When you come forth and bring the truth of who you are, and the very people that want to help you are waiting for you. They're waiting to support you. They're waiting to help you to really bring forth your light in this world in a way that you've never experienced. It's not your tribe that you've grown up with that has your lineage, your ancestral lines that have kept you in fear and have kept you in survival mode. But this is your tribe that lives in this world of anything is possible and we can do it together. And that's why I've created this group called Dreamcatcher, because that's what it's all about. It's a 3-month quasi-private and group coaching program where you will be held in a space of experiential experimentation. What that means is I'm not interested in telling you what to do. I'm not interested in giving you more information, because I actually believe your next steps of what you need to do are inside of you. And what I want to do is just to be able to create a space to help you to tap into that and to encourage you to listen to it. And then to help you to see how the world is co-creating, how the world is supporting you, to really make this a belief that you live by. Because if you've always lived in a world of I have to do everything for myself, there's not enough, I have to struggle, it's all about hard work, this is not an easy transformation to make. And you need help. You need help. You need somebody to point it out for you. You need to see other people that are on the same journey. And when you start to see other people co-creating their life, and you see how there's people that have your pieces to your puzzle, then it starts to become a reality. It starts to become a world that you can really live in. I mean, I can tell you till I'm blue in the face that life is about co-creation and that you have the power, but until you actually experience it, you won't believe it. And so I want to create a space for you, or I am creating a space for you where you get to play in this. You get to be in this world and you get to feel it for yourself. And so if you're feeling that call and you're tired of being the person that can't receive help, this is your very first step. I invite you to allow in the help, to allow in my help to create this reality for yourself. Is that something that you would be willing to even embrace? I really hope that you would. If this resonates with you at all, just set up a time to have a call with me. I want to hear your story. I want to see, to make this a reality for you. Magic is real. Magic is about co-creation. It's about being held. It's about creating a new trust and experience with life. And I know your heart is seeking that. And I want to help you, again, make that a reality. This is your new structure. It's a web of co-creation where you get to shine who you really are in this world and bring your light forth. The world needs it. So please say yes to that call. Set up a time to chat with me about my program, Dreamcatcher. Reclaim your roots, own your soul voice, and let's take that first step.